time to switch gears from politics and hit the open road, whether you drive on the right or the left. So buckle up, check your mirrors, and hit the gas. It's time for Burning Rubber with Ligotti and the Car Doctor.
Hey, how are you? AM 950, 100.3 FM, and let me tell you, not only is he the Car Doctor, all right, but he is like the coolest car guy. Wait till you hear what he did. How are you, buddy?
I am doing good. How are you, Joe?
Well, I can't complain on a sunny 75-degree day when the Bruins are playing for the Stanley Cup tonight. I mean, can you get any more excited, John? I don't know.
It's a pretty good day. It's a pretty good day. Do you think Tom Brady's going to come out wearing a Big Papi shirt tonight or what?
Oh, that's right. He's going to the game, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you something. That is probably going to be something that we're going to hear an awful lot more about. There's a lot of rumors flying around, but yeah, I could see Tom Brady doing something kind of cool like that. But as we all know, we wish Papi a speedy recovery, and I know for a fact he was supposed to do an award ceremony tonight over at the Mandarin. They were actually having this. It's been in plans for a long time. Kind of a sports award thing. Yeah. And unfortunately, it looks like Pedro's going to pinch hit for him, and of course.
There you go.
But I mean, again, anyway. Yeah. So hey, John, I hear that you are like this big shot now, driving around $500,000 cars. All right, and I want to know, and we all want to know, what the hell was going on?
Well, last night, I'm the president of something called the New England Motor Press Association. The press association's been around for more than 25 years. Mm-hmm. We started as a little group in the Lars Anderson Museum over in Brookline a bunch of years ago. Back then, John R. White, the old auto writer from the Boston Globe, was the president. And over the years, somehow I ended up president. But last night we had the guy who is the president of the Rolls Royce of the Americas into our little meeting room where we meet down in of all places, Middleborough, Massachusetts, at the New England Motor Press. I think I've called in from there a couple times. Yep. And this time they brought the new SUV that Rolls-Royce has.
Really?
Yeah, they have a new all-wheel drive SUV, but they also have their big car, the Phantom. And the Phantom, the SUV is worth about $420,000. The Phantom was worth about $640,000. So I drove both cars about a half an hour. So last night I drove $1 million worth of cars.
Well, I mean, you're $1 million worth of guy here, but
not where I live, but it's amazing.
Again, and I'm not dropping names or anything else, but I have a very successful cousin down in Delray who is a big doctor, used to work as the orthopedic surgeon with the Dolphins, and he's got a very, very great practice. And guess what? He has 2 Rolls Royce Dawns, which my brother has driven one. I, of course, no one lets me near anything because I'm a maniac. I mean, I would get ashes all over the seat. I mean, because there's no doubt that I would, in his convertible, be smoking a cigar.
You should be.
Now, let me ask this question. Do they have, like, scotch or tequila that squirts right into your mouth, like when you press for the windshield fluid? I mean, tell me what's so...
No, but they will if you want that. It's one of those things, and Rolls-Royce is different than cars like Ferrari. Ferrari, if you do something stupid with a Ferrari, they actually will put you on a list and they won't sell you another one. Rolls-Royce, you buy the car, you want to do anything you want, and they'll do pretty much whatever you want. What's interesting about it is, like the leather interior.
Right.
It looks like a nice leather interior. Right. But they actually get it from cows that live way up high in the mountains, so they don't get stung by bees or mosquitoes, so the skin is nice and smooth.
Get out of here. Now, I know there are calfskin rugs in the car because my brother actually took a picture of my cousin's calfskin rugs. Now, the reason why that was a big deal, the picture, was that they had Chinese takeout on the rugs. So it was kind of like, what if that shrimp lo mein, went all over the $10,000 carpet?
Yeah, and it's amazing what some of the options cost. The stereo in the Culligan, which is the SUV, the stereo is about $10,000 option over the stock one, which I imagine is pretty good.
Did you crank the tunes?
I did. Right. I actually cranked it up. It sounded good. And then there was a center console between the rear seat, which it's heated and air conditioned, and you can put your lunch in there, I guess, if you want. But also it has all the controls for the sound system for the people in the back seat. That option was $15,900. So between the sound system and the center console, it cost more than the last car I bought.
True, but let me ask you this: you said that you could put your lunch in it or whatever. Would my lunch fit in there? That is the question.
I think I think it would, and if not, it had a lot of room behind the back seat. And what was pretty amazing about the car is I asked the question: what is the typical income of somebody who buys a $600,000 car? And they said, well, it's not really about income. And they said, well, and he looked at the president of Rolls Royce, looked at me. He said, probably about like you, 20 to 50 million a year.
Yeah, well, they know. I don't care what you say. You've got it hidden somewhere. All right. I'd like to see your mattress, my friend. It must be stuffed with 20s. Hey, speaking of that, though, what would you liken this? Of course, it's tough to liken a $450,000 SUV. What would you liken it to? Size-wise and whatever, as far as, what we're used to driving, maybe, Escalades, a Navigator.
I mean, it's about the size of your Escalade. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit taller, a little bit boxier, maybe a little bit wider. Right. But overall, it's about the same, with probably similar cargo space behind the second. It's a second row seat only. So, and it's really designed. They said 50% of the people that buy this new SUV came from something else. They came from the top of the line Mercedes. They came from the top of the line Land Rover, and they already have another Rolls Royce at home. So like your cousin, they already got another one. But they said, I kind of want to go to Aspen and go skiing, so I want to go in my Rolls Royce SUV so I can get there. And it was interesting how some of these people live, and there is a certain amount of them that lease them for $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month. They pay a lease payment. Other people, they just come in with a bag of cash and just, pay $500,000 outright. It's just a completely different world. Oh, yeah. And, here in Boston, Herb Chambers is the Rolls Royce dealer. Oh. And they sell enough cars to keep them in business up there. And the next nearest Rolls Royce dealer is down in Connecticut. But the two big areas, Los Angeles and Miami. Miami is where all the Rolls Royces are sold.
Well, again, that is about that's probably where Michael bought his. And again, the story was that he bought his wife some car, a Bentley or something, some ridiculous car, and then we had a big bow on it for Valentine's Day. Well, his car was the Rolls Royce Dawn convertible. She was a little upset, so he had to get rid of the Bentley. All right, and he had to wait, believe it or not. I guess there was a wait for these cars.
Yeah.
So tell me, if we wanted to go in like me, even if I wore my best sharkskin suit and I shined up the bling, do they check like your balance in your bank account when you walk in, or what?
I gotta think. The first thing it's like everything else. The first thing they want to do is they want to deposit to make sure you can buy it. But also, kind of the interesting thing is, not that Rolls Royces are impulse buys, and you can have one made and you get whatever you want. But the bigger deal is that know their customers, have a few right there, because they know that you're going to come in the door and you're going to look at it and you go, I really like that dark blue one over there. Wrap it up. I'll take it home with me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you want to order it, I'm sure they have to do a little bit of work to make sure you can afford it. And whether it's in Miami or LA, it's not the 65-year-old guy that looks like he can afford it. In a lot of cases, it's a 20-year-old rapper who made a ton of money, and they're looking for the hottest new car that no one else has. So it's one of those things that the cover isn't what the book is about, kind of thing.
Well, all I know is David could produce it. I say we do a rap song, and maybe we could get a pair of. I'll drive the SUV. You can have the convertible. All right.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
All right. Now, with all this rain, John, I just want to say that the happiest guy that I know is my landscaper. All right. So with all this grass, Honda. Now, I don't know why you would need a lawnmower like this, but they now have a lawnmower built for speed. It's called the Supercharged Mean Mower V2, which broke a Guinness record for being the lawnmower. It went 100 miles an hour, and do you know how many seconds, John?
I don't know, but there's lawnmower races. And
really?
There really is. And these guys put these, they put snowmobile engines inside of them. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it doesn't surprise me. I bet it goes to 100 miles an hour in 5 seconds or something.
6 seconds.
That can get your yard mowed really quick.
I would hope that I don't understand. I would be very, very nervous because, my landscapers are, I don't want to say this, but they might possibly be undocumented, so they probably don't have a license anyway. But anyway, I saw that article, actually David did, and said, why would you need, the lawnmower, the picture of it is gorgeous and whatever. So, So, John, let me ask you this. Was that the first time you ever drove a Rolls Royce?
It is not the first, but it is the most expensive one I ever drove.
Okay.
And it's the newest one I ever drove. And I got to tell you, the ride, it doesn't just ride over potholes and bumps. It just totally makes them disappear. I will say it is the nicest riding car I've ever been in. I've been in some more expensive cars that were either crazy one-off sports cars or, something that was powered by hydrogen and kryptonite or something that were made for, they were designing them, and those are actually probably worth more. But for a $650,000 production car that you could go out and buy, I've never driven anything that rode this nice, pretty inside, really nice car. Oddly enough, though, driving it through the streets of Middleborough, nobody gave it a second look.
Really? Well, John, I'd like to take it through Chelsea and some of those potholes.
There you go.
Anyway, I love them. John Paul, the car doctor, and go Bees.
Go Bees.
There you go.